Moving to Australia. 10 reasons why this city is a great place to live. Hi, I'm Gemma Laurel. Thank you for dropping by my YouTube channel. If you're looking for a fresh start, thinking maybe it's time to shake things up and move to somewhere else in the world to live, Sydney might just be the place to pop on your list. Wondering what Sydney is really like? Are the tourist brochures really true? Will I end up knifed in the gutter clutching an overpriced selfie stick? If you're a bit of a nomad like me and you like to move around for variety, or maybe you're just wanting a clean start somewhere that feels like you could actually have a good life, I'd love to share some of the experiences that I've had living in the heart of Sydney so that you can decide whether it's something you want to do as well. The 10 reasons why Sydney is a great city to live. Number 1. Safety. Australia is a pretty safe country to live in. You could live almost anywhere across Australia and you'd be fairly safe. For example, you might already know this, but Australia bans guns. Only certain people can carry them, like law enforcement, farmers who have a permit for things like pest control and livestock, but otherwise nobody is allowed to walk around just carrying a gun. Living in Sydney City, it's pretty low violence. There are no creeps hollering at you out of their cars. It's a pretty safe city to live in. You can walk down the alleys between buildings in this city at like 1 o'clock in the morning and be completely fine. I think it has also something to do with the fact that the cities here aren't overpopulated. Aussies love their space. Just don't be surprised if someone gives you a weird look if you start approaching them within 1 meter. Reason number 2, jobs. Being the largest city in Australia, it has the largest share of businesses and, as a consequence, jobs. I have lived in the top 3 cities of Australia, being Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. And Sydney has been the best for finding work. It's not just because of the abundance of the number of businesses and the variety of work here, it's just the sheer volume of job openings. Reason number 3, clean. Sydney City Council does a pretty good job at cleaning the streets here. Now, either they do a really good job or maybe just generally people aren't slobs here. But here you usually don't see papers flying around or footpaths that aren't maintained or shop fronts that look like somebody's done a raid. Also, the location of the city, it's right on the water. We have Darling Harbour and of course Sydney Opera House that leads out into the ocean. It means the ocean breezes sweep into the city and clean out the air each day. I have actually never seen smog in this city. The air quality here is pretty clean. The only things you're likely to smell are the bakeries or the Asian food cooking. There are also some streets that have been blocked off to cars, so you don't see a lot of that pollution and high traffic that runs through most cities around the world, because buses, trams and trains are pretty good here, so pollution levels are minimized. Which takes me to reason number 4. Convenience. It's not just the location of Sydney being within walking distance of the number of beaches and also the convenience of malls and grocery stores, but it's the public transport that makes Sydney really easy to get around in. You could walk from one end of the Sydney CBD to the other in 25 minutes. That's how small the city actually is. The remaining part of Sydney are the surrounds and the suburbs such as Darlinghurst, all the eastern suburbs like Bondi, Surrey Hills, Paddington, and then places like Chippendale and Newtown. These are all safe areas and there's actually a lot of cultures mixed around, and that's where you get the darn good food. Reason number 5, weather. Most of the cities in Australia don't really have seasons because most of Australia lies in the tropical or subtropical belts, which means humidity at some level, and effectively every season is some variation of summer. So if you love the heat, you're going to love Sydney. So Sydney being in the subtropical range, you're mostly going to have humid and warm. If you love sunshine, you're going to be in heaven. Summer can get pretty hot, like it's not unusual for summer to be in the 30s. In terms of winter time, really the way I perceive it is it's one cool week of the year. And then it's like a variation of summer on either side of that week. It's kind of like a cooler springtime. If you're like me, you want it to be under 20 degrees all the time. And your will to live decreases by 10% for every degree it goes up in temperature, because sweating is going to happen. Bad hair days are normal. Every woman is envious of me when I walk down the street. They just see this and they're like, I want her hair. I actually got my hair blow dried just for this video, and you can just tell it's like, woo, I'm gonna frizz, yeah. But if you don't mind being kind of hot all the time and living that tropical weather, you're going to love it here. Reason number 6. People. There's a general laid-back attitude to most of Australia, and that's no matter where you live. I really think it's something to do with the heat. That laid-back nature is somewhat there in the capital cities, but you find that casual, laid-back, yeah, she'll be right attitude kind of dissipates a little as you head towards the cities. It's because the cities are really the working house of everyone coming together and just getting on with the job. So the laid-back nature is a little bit more, no, full on, we gotta go to work, we got business, yeah. So in the cities, people don't use much eye contact, or they're trying to avoid people begging for money, or just sometimes you get, you know, it's part of living in the city. But if you're new to the city and you need to ask for directions, just give a friendly wave and say, can you help me with directions? And most people will stop and be really happy to help you out. It's not that people are trying to be rude and trying to ignore you, it's just that they're trying to go from A to B, usually on their lunch break, so they don't have a lot of time to be interrupted. It's not personal. And Sydney being home to a lot of people around the world, we have a variety of cultures. Australia being geographically located in the Asia-Pacific region means we get a lot of people from China, Singapore, Korea, Vietnam, a lot of Asian cultures. Sydney also has an abundance of Indian, Persian, Spanish, Turkish, hence an amazing offering of different businesses and food, and amazing food. And did I mention food? So we get things like Chinatown, Korean Square, Spanish Quarter, Sydney markets, drunk and disorderly section. Reason number 7, cultural icons. These are where you'll see a lot of the tourists congregating, such as Hyde Park, the Rocks. They also have ghost tours and old historical walks. The Opera House, of course. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, which you can climb, and there's Darling Harbour, which you can hire boats to just paddle out on and have a great day. There's already so much information about what to do in Sydney, so I'm not going to repeat that. Reason number 8, food and water. There's that food thing again. You'll be happy to know that the drinking water in Sydney is safe. I know when I traveled to other countries, I had to do a bit of a check just to make sure I could drink from the bubbler without ending up like vomiting for 3 days or something weird. So you can drink from the park water taps, you can drink from your shower, it's all safe. Also, the variety of food here is great. Australia does great dairy, like yogurts and ice cream, the ice creams, and also non-dairy offerings as well. The oriental choices are amazing. The Thai food here is like, oh, yes. Reason number 9, it's pretty. The pictures seriously don't lie. Sydney has so many beautiful places to walk, as there's a variety of landscapes, from the building architecture mashup of the old and new, to Darling Harbour, out to the ocean, to historic walks along places like the Rocks. Yep, we name things simply here. It's just too hot for fancy words. Reason number 10, the city's plans. This is where it gets exciting, because this is where the future of Sydney is set up. The City of Sydney Council is doing some great work here. I don't get paid to say this. The park rangers here are the best, taking care of the wildlife in the city and gardens, taking care of the streets. Another example, there's the Greening the City initiative, a huge project to improve parks, green roofs, and plant thousands of new trees. The aim is to cover more than 40% of the city in greenery by 2050. You just have to walk through Hyde Park or the gardens here to have a sudden smack to your face of fresh green, breathing life all around you. It's the temperature when you walk into these areas literally drops. It's like walking into this cool forest in the middle of the city. The parks here are safe. You're not going to get mugged. You're not going to get spammed with selfie stick, selfie stick. No, leave me alone. Another cool city initiative are bees in the city. The importance of bees can't be underestimated. Without bees, we pretty much couldn't eat anything. The pollinating job that they do is essential. It's amazing. Rooftop Bees. It's a beekeeping business that installs and maintains beehives on corporate buildings and campuses around Sydney to help sustainability. And you can buy honey. Again, I don't get paid for this. I just love what they do for these necessary little critters. They also run workshops and educational programs, so check them out in the link below this video. Oh, there's a challenge to only stick to 10 reasons why Sydney's a great place to live. There are so many reasons why. But of course, in removing the BS, there are some things that make Sydney not so great, which I'll probably do in another video. Let me know if you would like me to create that video, or maybe I'll just go ahead and do it anyway without your permission. I'm just kidding. Let me know if you found this video helpful. Pop a comment below. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it.